can you solve this math challenge? Here's the question. Solve for the value of x times y given that 2 raised to x minus 3 raised to y equals 5 and 2 raised to x plus 2 plus 3 raised to y plus 2 equals 59. You can pause this video if you want to give this problem a try. And now let's answer this question together. So given these two equations, our goal is to solve for the product of x times y. So of course, we need to find first the value of x and y, then get their product, and that's it. So how can we solve for x and y? Let's use some laws of exponent. If we have b raised to n plus m, it is equivalent to b raised to n times b raised to the power of m. Therefore, 2 raised to x plus 2 can be written as 2 raised to x times 2 raised to 2. Also, 3 raised to y plus 2 can be written as 3 raised to y times 3 raised to 2. And now, 2 squared or 2 raised to 2 can be written as 4. And now, we can rewrite this expression as 4 times 2 raised to x. Now, 3 raised to 2 is simply 9. And we can rewrite this expression as 9 times 3 raised to y. Take note that we have common terms of 2 raised to x and 3 raised to y. So let's have another variable that is equivalent to 2 raised to x and 3 raised to y. Let's call this as p and q, wherein this p is 2 raised to x and this q is 3 raised to y. Now, all 2 raised to x can be replaced by p. And also, all expression that is equivalent to 3 raised to y can be replaced by q. Now, we have a linear equation, p minus q equals 5, and 4p plus 9q equals 59. Now, we can solve this using a lot of method, but I will use elimination method. So, first thing to do is to multiply the first equation by 9. The reason is we have negative q and we have positive 9q. So if we multiply the first equation by 9, this will give us 9p minus 9q equals 45. Now let's get the second equation. And take note, when we add these two equations, we can cancel out negative 9q and positive 9q. So this will give us 9p plus 4p, this will give us 13p, equals 45 plus 59, and this is 104. Now, to solve for the value of p, let's divide both sides by 13. And now, 104 over 13 is simply 8. So, we get the value of p, which is 8. Now, how about the value of q? We can choose from these two equations, but the easiest equation, of course, is the first equation. Now, since we know the value of p must be 8, so let's replace this p by 8. Now, let's solve for the value of q. Let's subtract 8 on both sides. 5 minus 8 is simply negative 3. Divide both sides by negative 1 or multiply both sides by negative 1. It's the same thing. This will give us q equals 3. Now, this is easy to check because 8 minus 3 is 5 and 4 times 8 is 32 plus 9 times 3 27. 32 plus 27 is 59. Therefore, p equals 8 and q must be 3. And now, also take note that p is also equivalent to 2 raised to x and q must be equal to 3 raised to y. And now, let's focus on these 4 equations. We know p equals to 2 raised to x and it is equivalent to 8. Therefore, we can say that 2 raised to x must be equal to 8. Also, 3 raised to y must be equal to 3. Now, we can now solve for the value of x and y. Take note that this 8 is just 2 raised to 3, and this 3 can be written as 3 raised to 1. So, definitely, we can say that x must be equal to 3, and y must be equal to 1. Therefore, we can now find the product of x and y. If we do that, we get that x times y must be equal to 3 times 1, or simply, just 3. Therefore, our answer to this question, what is the product of x times y? And our answer is 3. And as always, we are done.